so that you are noticed. You know, right now, many Africans, and I say this because we Africans, people are on top of the dinner table eating silent steak and caviar, and we are under the table fighting over crumbs. This is what is happening. When you see black on black violence, it is essentially, what are we fighting for? Crumbs. Crumbs. The real meal is on the table. That is where we should be. That is where the good. But you see the problem, when you are under the table, you cannot see what is on the table. You only see the bottom of the table. And therefore, the only thing you can see are the crumbs that have dropped. And I'm suggesting to us, particularly we in the political class, deliberate efforts must be made.
My dear friends and fellow Africans, this is the truth. Africa, we are fighting those crumbs. Africa, we are under the table. Africa, we are fighting each other. For instance, what Professor Pierre Lumumba was talking about is reflecting on what's happening today. As I speak to you now, Congo and Rwanda has no good relationship.
On record and with the facts, DRC is supporting FDLR, and unfortunately, with the knowledge of MONUSC, the UN force on the ground, and actually that's how it happened that they were sharing our territory when it happened. There have been incidents happening since 2019, in November, when FDLR entered our territory in a place called Kinigi, and were fought off and defeated by our forces. They had come from DRC, and they were armed by DRC. Then there was a sharing 3 times, different times, with heavy weapons. Killed people, destroyed property, and we were discussing all these matters with the DRC. And so that's what I can speak to. Otherwise, why would we be involved in DRC as such? But they have done everything to try and involve us in their problems. We have been resisting that, but I don't know for how long, if they continued doing what they have been doing, that we have been bringing to their attention.
And we know that Congo is the richest resource country in this world. So why Rwanda and Congo can't come together? And we know who is exploiting Congo. Congo has all kind of peacekeeping soldiers from almost all over the world. But still Congo is not at peace. And let me give you these words from Dr. Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when he said that if we don't formulate a plan for unity and take active steps to form a political union, we will soon be fighting and warring among ourselves. The imperialists and the colonialists standing behind the screen and pulling vicious wires to make us cut each other's throat. Challenge of the Congo. And this is what's happening. If we have a political unity, we can't fight among ourselves. Yes, some people are condemning about maybe involvement of Rwanda, but the real issue is not Rwanda. The problem of Congo is since then the assassination of Patrice Emery Lumumba. So we are fighting for scrums. If Africa, we want to make sure that we are benefiting from our resources, is we need to unite, to come together. Just imagine if Congo and Rwanda have a friendship and say we are one. And I have listening very keen when President Paul Kagame was interviewed by the Rwandan broadcasting television. He said there are some Rwandese who are living in Congo, and there are some Congolese who are living in Rwanda. And we know that these borders that has imposed their colonial borders have been created in Bahrain. No any African leaders or any African chiefs are there when this boundary has been drawn. So the boundary has drawn between two families, or between one family, and divide the one family into two sides. One family in Congo, one member of family in Congo, one member of family in Rwanda. But we are one as Africans. So I think the time has come for we Africans to understand the root causes of our problems. What's happening in Congo, and we know that Congo is a member of East African Community. We are expecting maybe to be a member of East African Community is to increase the market of the Eastern Bloc. Now we see the member of East African Community have a conflict among themselves. And this is what Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah was prophetically said. Today, Rwanda and Congo has no good relationship. So what do you expect as East African member or East African Community members? They don't love each other. They have a conflict among themselves. So the time has come for my dear friends and fellow Africans to make sure that in order for us to make peace in this continent, to benefit, we need to make sure that to understand the root causes. The imperialists, the colonialists are watching us, and they are closed to us to see what we are doing. No one like to see Congo is at peace. And I see last week there is a funeral of the many of the truth of Patrice Lumumba of Congo from Belgium. So you see, so the problem is not within ourselves. Yes, we have some problem, but the root causes is not our problems. The root causes is behind of us. So we must understand the root causes of this problem as Africans, so that we can move forward and remove this conflict. And what is so good, maybe I pray to see the peace in Congo. You know, if the day Congo become at peace, that's the day Africa will start to benefiting from our resources. And I hope maybe the coming generation will make sure that there's a peace in Congo. There's a peace in all over the continent of Africa. Today we are talking about the issue of continental free trade area. So how the people of Congo can move free to Rwanda while there's no good relationship. Last year we have seen also Congo, Rwanda and Uganda have shut their borders, they have closed their borders. There's no good relationship, but at the end they have resolved their problems. Not only that, soon we have seen the clash in the border of Ethiopia and Sudan. All these are the conflicts. And we know Ethiopia has a war there in Tigray region that has been coming down after a long fight of almost 1 year. It means there are some people who have lost their lives, people lost their property, some people lost their hope because of the conflict and the war among ourselves as Africans. So we need to find the solutions of this conflict, and these conflicts are engineered outside, sometimes outside of the continent, and sometimes this division of borders, this country that has been created by the colonial masters, as the root causes of our conflict in the continent. So as Africans, we need to find the solutions, how we can keep peace in our mother continent, Africa, in order for us to move forward. So we can speak a lot, we can have many maybe forums, many development plan, but if there's no peace, this is nothing. We're just wasting our time. We need, first of all, to put peace, peace, peace. Our first priority is peace, 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 so that after having a peace in the continent, then development will come, I'm sure. Because if you have a fighting, the people will not engage in economic activities. People will run away. So, my dear friend, I hope you understand, and I have decided to share this because I have listening and seen the importance of peace among Africans and stop fighting among ourselves. So that's what I want to share to you. Thank you for watching. Please, as a young generation, let us talk about peace, let us talk about unity, let us talk about love among ourselves. We Africans, we must love each other. So thank you.